Granblue Fantasy Versus was released in early March of 2020. Being a fighting game based on the popular Granblue series of gacha games, the game saw some success. However, with a certain worldwide event happening, coupled with the fact that the game had delay-based netcode, Granblue Fantasy Versus found itself on life support straight out of the gate. It had some dedicated players, however, with a full price tag, rarely ever going on sale, ridiculously priced DLC, and no news of rollback, Granblue Fantasy Versus was seemingly destined to die and never get its true chance in the spotlight. But despite odds that have killed other fighting games, Granblue managed to survive somehow. Be it brand recognition, the loyal and dedicated fanbase, or the IP holders' sheer belief in the project, Granblue managed to weather the storm, and even became one of the 8 games at EVO in 2022. But let's be real, the honeymoon phase for most players has long passed, and unless something drastic happened, Granblue Fantasy Versus was going to be left to fade into obscurity. On the 21st of January 2023, a sequel was announced for Granblue Fantasy Versus, known as Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising. The game would have new gameplay systems, all of the previous DLC characters unlocked, new characters exclusive to Rising, a new story, and most importantly, rollback netcode. Right now, there is a beta going on for Rising for both PC and PlayStation, and you can play it until the 12th of November. All of the original game's characters are there, and there are 2 completely new ones that you can play. There is also an entirely new mode dedicated just for Rising, which we'll talk about later in the video. Today, though, I wanted to go over how the game works in its current state, what I like, what I don't like, and try to figure out if Rising could be the thing to save Granblue Fantasy Versus. So, let's talk about Granblue. But first, if you like Granblue's art style, then it can be safe to say that you're a bit of an anime fan, right? Maybe a bit of a degenerate? Well, I got news for you. GamerSupps just released a new succubus-themed waifu cup, which you can get 10% off with my code, He'sGekin, in the link in the description. If you're not feeling it though, they have a wide array of shakers and amazingly tasty energy drinks. So why don't you go have a look and make sure to use my code if you get anything. Anyway, let's get on with Granblue. So this game is split into 3 separate modes. The story mode, which is an RPG beat-em-up, a traditional 2D fighting game with a lot of systems and mechanics, and Fall Guys! Fall Guys! We only have access to 2 of these modes, with the story currently being absent. And with this being a fighting game channel, mostly, we should go over all of the things in this part of the game first. Despite its appearance, Granblue Fantasy Versus is a very grounded fighting game focused on shorter combos and neutral-based gameplay. It's still an anime-style game, and there are a lot of crazy characters to pick from, but you're not going to be doing any air dashing in this game. For me, I ended up playing Zoe, a puppet-like character who uses her pet dragon to set up sequences on her opponents and get herself into advantageous positions. Also, she's got a dust loop. But there's a bunch of other characters. In fact, we have White Bread with butter, secretly a Shodo, Blanca, Chili Chip, that one smug bastard from your history class, the bringer of hype, the zoning poster child, now I'm with my boys, the actual zoning poster child, smile, the only big body I respect, we have Johnny combos to grind, average Yorkshire male, an actual war criminal, Ma, there's a weird fucking cat outside, average South English male, the catboy with a gun, the catboy with a knife, oh shit, she's a little fucked up actually, the final boss who ended up being mid-tier, secretly buys waifu cups with code He'sGekin for 10% off, publicly buys waifu cups with code He'sGekin for 10% off, and the 2 new characters, May if she hoarded sheep instead of dolphins, and Suffering builds character, Suffering builds character, Suffering builds character. There's some other characters coming out with the base roster, but they're not in the beta, so they're basically dead to me. Being a 4-button fighting game, most characters have about 6 normal grounded attacks, with some characters having another attack on their unique button, and everyone also having a sweep. Other characters all have specific gimmicks tied to their unique button, not unlike the drive system from BlazBlue. For example, Siegfried has a power-up attack on his unique button, which causes him to do more damage at the cost of some of his health. Characters also all now have running normals by sprinting and then using either light, medium, or heavy while they're running. While we haven't talked about a lot of stuff, I already have a little bit of a criticism for the game. I really don't like the dash normals. They feel kind of weird when you're trying to approach your opponent, and you want to do one of your longer pokes. But unfortunately for you, the button that corresponds with your character's overhead is on that button. So you jump into the air and do a slow-ass normal because fuck you, I guess. Aside from that, most characters have 4 special moves that have cooldowns that you can see below their health bar. Some characters have more special moves thanks to things like stances and other funky stuff. Each special move has a light, medium, EX, or heavy, and meter burn version. The EX moves are carried over from the original Granblue versus, being a more powerful version of the attack that causes you to have a longer cooldown on your ability. However, new to Rising is the ability to spend half of your actual super meter in order to do an even more powerful version of the attack called Ultimate Skills. By doing the motion with the unique button, you do a crazy powerful version of the attack that gives you added benefits. Don't ask me how to do it with simple inputs, I have no idea. This gives the game a much needed way to add more uses to the meter of the game. The old Granblue had a system at the end of its life involving meter, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how you used it. And giving you a usage for your super meter by giving you EX moves costing 50% is a really nice way to do it, and it complements nicely with the new systems they added. By pressing medium and heavy, you activate an unblockable move that can be followed up with a dash if it connects. This uses one of your bravery points, which you can see at the top of the screen. If the player getting hit by the unblockable move actually blocks it, then they're able to press medium and heavy slash to guard cancel and get themselves out of the situation. You can also use guard cancels at any point, but they also cost a bravery point. Here's the fucked up part. If you block the unblockable attack, you lose a bravery point. And if you want to not take a damage from the upcoming combo, then you're gonna have to spend another one to get out of the situation. It kind of sucks, but you can also spot dodge and roll in this game to avoid the unblockables. So it's more of a punishment for not reacting when you had the chance. I'm not the biggest fan of it right now, but it feels like one of those things where the more time goes on, the less bullshit it's gonna be. Aside from that, the simple and motion inputs are still in the game. I'm not entirely sure what the difference between the two of them is this time, since they mentioned they were removing the faster cooldown on the special inputs, but they might have reverted it. Hopefully, maybe. Who knows? I don't play this game, bro. The game itself is a nice blend of grounded footsies and anime bullshit in a way that a lot of other fighting games try to walk the line of. Every character is very simple. However, they all have their own unique identity, which makes them all interesting to play against and play as. There's multiple characters that I want to check out when the game finally comes out, and thankfully the DLC isn't ridiculously priced this time. I hope. The base roster being so big and varied means that you're likely to find a character that you gel with, though. The online of the game has also been vastly improved when compared to the original game. The lobbies are bigger now for a starter, but the matches have actual functioning rollback netcode, which feels buttery smooth. I wouldn't expect any less from Arxis at this point. Like, I play people in the United States, and it felt as good as playing against people in Europe, so I'm happy. And there appears to be no lobby bugs. Yet. They also added this new feature where you can make posts for everyone to see, and I don't know how to tell you this, but it doesn't have a profanity filter. People have been posting some really fucked up shit, so let's go through some of the silliest that I've found.
Oh my god, please just one lick. Please. Even just a sniff. Mom. Please. Oh my god. Please.
Delio bad. Mitra good. Up voted to the left. Sucks off who?
Near.
Furry GBVS gamers represent.
Get a job, gamer.
But this is only half of the game that we have access to. There's another full mode that we haven't even talked about. And of course, that's Fall Guys! Fall Guys! If you don't know, I am a Fall Guys enjoyer. It's basically the only battle royale I've ever consistently played, and I was pretty decent at it when it was at its peak. I don't play much of it nowadays, but it holds a special place in my heart. And recently, it seems that other companies have begun to take a crack at doing a Fall Guy-like game. Obviously, Final Fantasy XIV has an entire event around Fall Guys right now, but that's more just actual raid mechanics disguised as an obstacle course. No, the Granblue devs decided that Fall Guys was such a good concept, they should completely steal the idea. Granbrews is a game mode in which you play as a chibi avatar of one of the Granblue characters and attempt to survive a gauntlet of several obstacle courses and different minigames in order to become the one true Granbruiser. Currently, Currently, the game only has 3 minigames, being an obstacle course, a team game where you try to collect many golden bars, and a final survival mode where you try not to fall off the edge and avoid all the bombs. Now, most people I know have been ignoring this game mode, and to those people I say, you are a fool! This shit fun as hell! Obviously, the game needs more actual minigames to keep it fresh, because no matter who you are, having the 3 same minigames rotate between all at the same time in the exact same order will make you go insane. But the potential is there, and I am seeing it with my eyes. Imagine the mass market appeal of Granblue Fall Guys. Imagine! Use your brain for once! But let's be real, does anyone want to actually spend $50 in order to play a Fall Guys clone and an updated version of a fighting game from 2020? Well, to that I say, it's not a Fall Guys clone because it has items. I win, bye-bye. Oh, shit. I mean, you don't have to pay for it right away because Cygames and Arxis are doing something that I didn't expect from a fighting game. When Granblue Fantasy Vs. Rising comes out, there will be a $50 normal mode and a $75 deluxe edition because we live in a hellscape, but there will also be a free version of the game. This free version will let you play online as Gran and 3 other rotating characters, but most importantly, you get to play Fall Guys for free! I mean, you get to play Granblues for free! This isn't a perfect solution because the full roster ends up costing $50 fucking, and it seemingly has no way to just buy the characters that you want to play. However, it's at least a nice option to get people to try and play the game. If you get people into the game and trying the system, and they like it, then they might actually buy the game, and it'll have a chance of doing better than just surviving. And if you're just a Gran player, then well, this is the best fucking outcome you could have asked for. The free version of the game, improved netcode, bigger roster, and fucking Fall Guys all have me very excited for the release of this game. And there's a chance we'll see another big player in the fighting game field. All they have to do now is not fuck it up. And market it properly, obviously. Want to check it out for yourself? Why not hop over to my stream right now and fight me? Maybe you can show me some crazy things that you've been trying in the beta, or just try and hit me with an unblockable. Either way, it'll be a good time. If not, well, thank you all for watching anyway, and I'll see you all next week. As always, a very special thanks to 64 MHz, Almost Nap Time, Ben from Canada, Cervantes de Leon, Daniel Wiedericht, Fexo, Games.png, I Am Naruto, MP04, Ray W, Richmine, Sergeant Cubby, Super, Falcon, Tom Tanks, Voltaic Charge, and Zandatsu, being Tier 2 Patreon supporters.